previously on the Cactus Atlas, a trip to the Canadian border was made.
Basically, yeah, I think we're essentially looking, I'm just gonna call it, we're looking at a different country.
A huckleberry bear claw was demolished.
That is a quality pastry, I'm gonna tell you that right now. It's good. It's delicious, it's amazing.
And lots of beautiful forest roads were taken in. We spent 2 nights hanging out at the North Fork Flathead River in Big Creek Campground, but it's time to head east and enter Glacier proper. And today's the day.
It has been a wonderful stay. The camp is all packed up, my truck is fully loaded, and I'm ready to hit the road, and I got a long day ahead of me, a big day, an important day, maybe the most important day of the trip, which is really all about CampVue, but I'll be making a video here for you guys in between. We technically said our goodbyes to the river last night, so I'm not gonna dilly-dally. We're gonna be quiet because people are still sleeping, but we're gonna hit the road now because I gotta get to Columbia Falls maybe for some more coffee, and we'll get this started. I'll explain what we're doing. One of the reasons I invested the time and expense, which isn't a great expense, but still an expense, to come do this trip, was to film and do drive-thrus of several national parks, some of the big heavy hitters of national parks when it comes to search volume on the internet, part of my plan. So that would include Glacier National Park, which we're on the west side of, and we're about to go drive through it today, and you're gonna get to see that with me, and I'm gonna see it for the first time, so it'll be spectacular in that regard and fun. But the main reason why I'm here and the priority are driving through the many campgrounds that you can reserve on recreation.gov for Glacier, because it's such an out of the way park. You know, I wanted CampVue to come up here and do it. It's got international appeal, all of that. So it's really gonna be one of the centerpieces of my new app and the YouTube channel. And then what will follow from that, I will also get Yellowstone and Grand Teton National Park, and another one I'm adding, which does not get a lot of search volume compared to the others, is Great Basin National Park. But this trip will net 4 of our great national parks. I don't know how many total that'll be. We did Yosemite, we've done Sequoia, Kings Canyon, or what we could of those, because sometimes the campgrounds are closed seasonally or, you know, for various reasons. But anyway, that's the plan today, and there's a specific way I'm going about it, and that's the next thing to discuss. Okay, so Glacier National Park presents us a little bit of a challenge in that they do have timed entry. And unlike other national parks, I have a campground reservation inside the national park at Apgar Campground. However, even though that's inside the national park, it is not within inside where they start the timed entry. So that does not get me, like at Arches, if you have a campground reservation, you can come and go as you please 24 hours a day with no restrictions. Here, you either get in the park by 6 a.m. or you don't get in through the west entrance. That's the trick. They can't block traffic, is my understanding, from the east side going west, because there are residents and people that need to commute that way. So that side should be open to traffic without timed reservations, so you can get in the park, just not through the popular entrance. So we're gonna go to basically 2 Medicine Campground and St. Mary Campground on the far east side, document those, and then take the Going to the Sun, I think is what it's called, Scenic Drive from the east to the west. And I've got stop after stop, all of the various scenic overlooks and everything that's worth stopping at, I plotted. And then at the end, when we come out by, I think it's Lake McDonald, Apgar Campground is over there. So by that point, I should have filmed all but 2 campgrounds. Apgar, where I'm staying, which is a gigantic campground. A couple of these are big ones. And one other one. I can't remember the name of it. It's like on the west side of, I think, that lake. Those I will do tomorrow. And then tomorrow is kind of a day where I left a lot of wiggle room. I was gonna make a video in the morning. I was gonna maybe do a hike. Probably not the best idea to try to record this segment on this freaking road, my God. But anyway, I'm gonna do that, but I left like the entire afternoon open for laundry if I had to run into town. I assume town being Columbia Falls. I did see a laundromat there. They do have showers in the campground, so if they're operational, that need is taken care of. But I probably won't do laundry. I'm doing good there. And I'll wait till I get down to Yellowstone, because I'm staying in 2 campgrounds that have laundry in them, so probably more convenient than driving in the town. I'm gonna really make an effort not to film anything until we get into Glacier, unless there's just something really I really want to say or need to say. Mainly just because we're gonna have a long day in there. Like, it's gonna be a full day, so I need to conserve my voice, my spit, and I ain't kidding about that, and everything else for when we get into the main attraction. So, being that that's almost 2 hours away in real time, I'll probably be up around there like 10 something, which is perfect also, because that's when people are usually, the campgrounds are going to be the emptiest they're going to be for the day, when people venture out or vacate and the new people haven't checked in yet. So you get a lot of vacant campsites, you know, even in busy campgrounds. That's my secret, doing it that way. All right, that's it. I'm gonna talk to you guys later on down the road, and hopefully I got a full belly and a happy heart by then. Okay, we are well on our way to the east side of Glacier, and I'm seeing, like, this has been a very scenic, beautiful drive, and I opted not to film some of it just for convenience sake, to not make this video too long. But I was also stuck behind an RVer driving like 30 miles an hour in a 70 mile an hour situation, and he wasn't pulling over to let people by, so that was like 40 minutes of that. Ay, ay, ay. But now we're making good time again, making up some lost time from that whole fiasco. And it's just beautiful out here, so I thought I'd share. You see these really big mountains, these jagged peaks that we're gonna be going all the way in there. It's kind of hard to believe, but I'm excited to see what it looks like on the inside. And now I'm looking at, you may have gotten some views, but there are some mountain peaks that have really large white patches on them of snow and ice. And this is called Glacier National Park, so I'm back in that problem area that I have described before, which is what's a glacier and what's not a glacier. Like, what's the qualification, once again, for, like, are the things that I'm seeing, these really big white patches, they don't look really big compared to the mountains. They're relatively small localized areas, but are they officially glaciers or just last year's snow that hasn't fully melted yet? I don't know if there's a visual way to just tell from a distance,
in a quarter mile, turn left onto 2 Medicine Road.
You will see lots of little white dots all over the mountains here. Maybe that's something we could learn, actually, while I'm in the park. I'll make that a goal. If anything, that's what I want to find out. So 2 Medicine, right here.
Turn left onto 2 Medicine Road.
I will do that. I wonder if there's just no gate on this side at all, because it's so, like, dead over here. Okay, there's a sign to St. Mary.
Continue on 2 Medicine Road for 3 miles.
Okay, I may be able to just wing it. I probably have to come back out this way. But we're really about to get into the beautiful stuff, I think. I see a alpine lake at the bottom. You guys can't see it yet, but hopefully we get views on it. I wanted to stop and pull over to get our first initial views looking in towards Glacier. And I think they're kind of dissipating, but you had those like kind of flying saucer-like clouds that I've only seen in books. I've never seen them up front. They're not that well formed and appear to be breaking up, but I think they are those disc-shaped clouds. I think it's a sign of very turbulent air if I remember, but you can see all of the beautiful mountains in there. I don't see that white patch on this mountain anymore, but I don't know if you can see. I'll try to zoom in. There are just little white patches dotting the mountains here and there. So are they glaciers? Are they not glaciers? Somebody, I think, addressed that once in a comment, and I unfortunately forgot what was said. There is a differentiator, I think. I needed a leg stretch anyway, but I gotta mount cameras now. Now it's hot again. I woke up and it was in the 40s, and now it's probably approaching 80 already. So I need to probably put some shorts on, and I guess this is where I'm doing it all.
Just one moment. So we've talked the importance of this trip, and now we're mounting cameras. So what's all the fuss about? Well, let me take a moment to explain. Planning a camping trip can be a tricky business on popular reservation systems. Is my site private? How's the driveway length for my RV? What are other people saying about a site? CampVue is a new app designed to make choosing a campsite simple and fun. Think of it as part Yelp and part Google Street View. But for campsites, on CampVue you can see a site in detail before you book it, or read a review by fellow campers to learn what makes a site good or bad. Best of all, CampVue is free to use, no account required. So whether you're camping this weekend or with the family next summer, you'll want to head on over to campvue.com and see how CampVue is the best tool to help you plan your next camping trip like a pro. CampVue. Find your perfect site.
All right, cameras are mounted and configured. I am ready to do our first drive-through of the day of Two Medicine Campground. I've got this is not the best map I found, but I usually print out campground maps because some of these are big, some of them are mazes. This one's kind of pretty logical layout. Sometimes I don't need maps to figure it out, but sometimes they do funky things with the numbering, and you can easily miss a site or two, and I have. I really strive not to, but when you're on a tight schedule, you know, it's a little easier said than done if you try it. Wow, this might be the most unbusy national park sign in the entire national park system, the east side of Glacier. I'm literally the only one here. And there's the big mountains we're about to head into. But I had to stop and take advantage of this because this never happens. Usually you have to wait in line. Whew, now it's getting chilly again. And that wind starts. It was hot, now it's cool. I love it. But yeah, Glacier National Park. I'm excited. This is I've never been, there's another national park off the list. I'm gonna one of these days have them all crossed off at this rate. Anyway, let's get back. I got CampVue business to do. All right, we are in, and I confirm with a ranger that I do not need a timed entry to go from east to west, but we will need to, after I'm done at Two Medicine here, go back out the way we came, probably all the way back out down that route to the main road or highway, and then gotta go through another entrance gate at St. Mary, that entrance and that campground, to get onto the actual scenic drive that I wanted to do today. So, not that this isn't scenic already. I'm really liking this area a lot. All of these campgrounds were booked solid though, so I was able to find at the last minute. I was looking for cancellations, as I always do, and I was able to snag a couple at Apgar on the west side. Otherwise, to be honest, I probably would have preferred to stay way over here. Just, you know, I don't know how crowded it's going to be or feel, but it's probably not going to be, my guess is it's probably not going to be pretty. Probably not going to be a pretty thing. Okay, I think we're coming up soon on where the campground, it should be a right turn if my Onyx map is correct. It's nice to have Onyx at least. I've got an offline map for that. So, and I like their map overlay better than Google's actually. Like it's easier for me to read in the my display here. Look at this beautiful site though, huh? All right, I'm gonna disconnect so I can figure this out and get this done. All right, I just did my drive-through here of this campground here at Two Medicine. It's a beautiful area. I mean, this is jaw-dropping, the scenery around here. I like the campground too. It's a pretty campground. The only gripe I have is that, like, I don't know why some campgrounds do this, but like, and it's not going to be a problem for anybody in the world but me and my logistics of how I do these drive-thrus, but sometimes like 1 or 2 campgrounds, the numbers are in opposite order. So instead of going like 1, 2, 3, 4, it's like 36, 35. So when I edit, I actually, to have them be in sequence, I actually have to reverse the footage. So, and it happens because there's like one-way streets. So why things end up like that, I couldn't tell you. Like maybe somebody was smoking crack when they designed the campground. I don't know why they do that. It just doesn't make any sense. But like I said, for anybody, I don't think that would be a concern. Like anybody other than me and my needs doing this. So I don't think that's going to change anything. But it's just, you don't notice those things, I guess, until you work for CampVue. It's just the darndest thing. It's weird. I was just looking at my notes, and I think St. Mary is like 45 minutes from here. So that's like 45 minutes to even get on the scenic road that I wanted to do today. This probably just feels more like being at work with me than an actual scenic video, huh? That's okay though. I'm just documenting things as they happen, and that was the whole point of the trip. So today might just be a driving through campgrounds day, and you can kind of get a taste. It just depends on what the crowd level is in there, but it wasn't too hopeful. If I'm in Two Medicine and like every parking spot's taken, it's probably not a good sign. And it might mean it might be better off tomorrow just exploring the scenic drive and starting like really early. That's kind of what I'm leaning towards, but we'll have to wait and see how it all unfolds. All right, kind of flying blind, but I came out of Two Medicine and there's a thing that says St. Mary this way. So I don't know what else, I don't know what else I would do. But I do have I think it's about a 45-minute drive according to my spreadsheet. So we're not like right there yet. But I really was like pretty much floored by the beauty of the Two Medicine area. I really regret not having more time in a way to just, you know, I think really the best way to enjoy it would be to camp there. It seems like a very compact area, but like its own little section of the park, but man, I saw some pictures, but the pictures didn't look anything as pretty as what I saw down there. Not even close. There's the view. There's another view for you. So here we go. We're looking down towards Two Medicine now. Where I just was, we drove down in there. I couldn't even tell you where the campground is now in relation to this. It looks different from up here, but boy is that pretty. That is something. I tell you what. I almost like this view anyway. Like better than the last one. I think you can actually see the lake that Two Medicine is, like right about there in the middle where that campground is. So it's tucked away somewhere deep in there. But as I was gonna start saying is, you see all the little white patches up in the mountains there? That's what I'm wondering, are those glaciers or are they just, I forget the term. There's another term for something that's not a glacier, but is still like packed snow. Anyway, we got like beautiful flowers lining the roadway here. There's wildflowers in the mountains. A nice, cool mountain breeze. Feels like the wind blowing right off of glaciers, like air-conditioned air. And that view, man. It's kind of cool to see the layout and understand it now, I guess, and why the park is divided how it is. Okay, we should be about ready to enter Glacier National Park again. And look at that, there's the Glacier National Park sign, and there's like a whole line of cars. See, I told you. We got lucky this morning driving into 2 Medicine, or else we would have had to wait our turn. Already got that done though, yay! Okay, so we want to find this campground now. Should be straight ahead, yep. And then we will be officially on the Scenic Drive, the Going to the Sun Road, but I guess doing it in reverse from what most people probably do. And once again, there is no timed entry coming in from the east, but there is timed entry if you're coming in from the west side, because that's where most people would access the park. So I'm curious now to see the west side, because this east side is mind-blowingly beautiful. So I don't know what makes the west side more popular. And did I choose poorly? I may have chosen poorly. That side seems to be moving a lot faster. All right, we just finished the St. Mary campground drive-through for CampVue. 2 down, I think 4 to go. For the 6, there's one Many Glacier campground is closed this whole year, so that one I don't get to go see. But this one was pretty big, like 150 sites or more. And I liked it. It was okay. Like, I would say I liked 2 Medicine much more. Like, the scenery around 2 Medicine was more in your face, like beautiful. This is kind of like, I don't know, like a lot of unlevel sites, like driving through it anyway. I'm gonna pull over really quick here so I can get my sandwich started and kind of figure out my next play. But basically, there's Lake Mary. It's 9 miles long and 289 feet deep, it says. But yeah, I'd say if I had to choose between 2 Medicine and this based on first impressions, 2 Medicine all the way. It's more woodsy. It has more dramatic scenery right there, like giant mountains, like right off the campground, the lake. This has a lake too, but it's kind of like on the outskirts, I think, of the deep stuff inside Glacier that makes it special. Would I stay here though? Absolutely. I mean, it's pretty. The things I like, there are little aspen trees like throughout it. Some of the sites seem kind of like surrounded by their own trees and stuff like that. So I liked it, but I like 2 Medicine better. I'm trying to figure out what this guy's doing back there. It's weird. Anyway, I'm gonna eat, I think, and plot my next moves and figure out how I want to proceed with this today. Gotta check on my schedule. I just ate my little sandwiches there to eat some lunch,
Continue on Glacier Route 1 road for 32 miles.
Surely this isn't 70 miles an hour like Google says it is. Maybe it is. It's Montana. Anyway, I'm not driving 70. I don't care. I'm kind of reconfiguring my whole day impromptu here, and I'm thinking what I was gonna do is kind of start here on this scenic route and stop at virtually every scenic overlook, little short hikes, and kind of enjoy it as I kind of interspersed it with campgrounds. But I'm thinking now, because I'm here and there's a reality check, that the best policy is make a beeline for the campground, skip all of the, stops that I was gonna make. And the reason why I want to do that is driving through that St. Mary campground. When I drive through on those campground drive-thrus, I typically try to maintain a speed of like 6 to 7 miles an hour. Seems to be perfect for how it comes out on video and being able to see the side views. So what I'm saying is, filming campgrounds in the middle of the day, just like I did at St. Mary's, is perfect, because there's a lot of vacant sites, just like I said. Look at that view. And I didn't have any issues with anybody getting behind me. And those are some big campgrounds. Man. I knew this was going to be good coming in here, but the scale that I see, that I know it won't be conveyed for you on the GoPro, that's something. That is something. Those are some big mountains. So I think we're officially on the Going to the Sun Scenic Road, is what I think it's called. You'll see it associated with the west entrance more because of the timed entry fee and all that. And there's another section of the park I already forget. I think it's near where Many Glacier is, where there's another separate timed entry system for that, but it's so far not congested really at all. So, oh wow, are those glaciers there on the far off mountain? See, and I can actually spend time tonight studying on that and trying to get information about what's a glacier and what is not a glacier. But so far, I am extremely impressed with this place. Wow, 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 wow. This is unreal, this whole landscape. The pullouts are really not that bad. Like, there's not as many. I thought it would just be hard to find parking, to be honest, but we're gonna save all this for tomorrow, like I said. So strange seeing snow on those mountains too. It's July the 31st. Not the time of the year that most typically associate with snow. But I know they had a pretty good snow in June, I think, out here, like 1 to 2 feet of snow or something. So I think it can happen pretty much any time, although it's probably highly unlikely right now. But what is the temperature anyway? It's 80 degrees. Wow, it's pretty warm. It's pretty dang warm out there. Look-y at that. I don't know if these were burnt, if this was part of a fire or something else. I'm thinking something else. Are these the beetles that kill pine trees? Some of those look pretty charred though. Like this whole section is decimated, the whole forest. But not all the trees are charred, so I'm wondering if it is some kind of invasive insect thing that you hear about. that kills pine trees. I'll have to ask about that one too. Wow. I see why this is a national park. This one definitely qualifies. I think reformulating my plan is the right call, because the further west we go, just as I was surmising, I guess the crowds are really picking up, and now I'm getting the Yosemite vibes here. Although there's a spot right there, look at that. So you could figure it out, but it's not like there's a good place for you to like wait in line and block the road, so it makes it hard. And there's a glacier, I think, straight ahead across the valley over there, and probably like a lot of snow and ice. But this is more of what I was kind of thinking it was gonna be like. Wow, we're like straddling the rock face here. Man, I almost think that I'm trying to think of tomorrow. I see benefits of going both directions on this road, you know, to get different views, because this is something else. I don't remember the last time I saw something this, you know, big. And deep. It would be better if I pulled over and got some shots, but yeah, I think the right call is to just don't be tempted. I know you guys are like, stop, I want to see it. Well, we're gonna get to see it in detail, don't worry. We're not done here, but the next campground awaits. And it's I would say the third biggest of the day, and then the one after that I think is one of the smaller ones, and then I get to my campground, which is I think it might be the biggest of them all in terms of number of sites. It's kind of interesting, you know, I studied this Scenic drive in detail on Google Maps to put my spreadsheet together, all of the stops, which now if I do this tomorrow, everything will be in reverse, which actually would be fine. I can still use my spreadsheet. So I kind of am like experiencing this road after having studied it, and it kind of matches my expectations of what I kind of made in my mind. But what it didn't do is like prepare me for just the scale. Like I knew it would be a big landscape, don't get me wrong, but you know, it's just amazing, like, you know, having camped outside of this yesterday and seen like some of the peaks from the distance, having driven around the whole thing today and seen some of it from a distance doesn't prepare you for what lies within. I bet you there's some animals here. How much you want to bet? There's like a bunch of people with cameras. Either that or a waterfall. Or snow and ice. What? Look at that. I just realized that. It's like a big chunks of ice. That's so cool. Very cool. All right, I'm just pulling out of this Avalanche campground, and I would say it's my favorite campground of the three we've toured so far. It's heavily wooded, like really, really shady, like one of the darkest like shaded campgrounds I've ever seen. Like really thick woods, unlike, I don't even know. It's awesome. So if I had to choose between Two Medicine, St. Mary, And that one, this would be my first choice out of those choices. It says near something called Trail of the Cedars, which seems like a very popular spot because all of the day use parking is full to the brim. So I'll have to look into that. I might want to do the Trail of Cedars. Like it just seems magical in there. So we're doing good though. And I got to record the family-friendly version of the narration for what I was actually saying as I drove back there. There's your equivalent of a Yellowstone traffic jam. And I don't know what what a ranger would do in that situation, but people literally stop and park in the middle of the road. And they go crazy. What it was there was a moose. I think a female moose. I could kind of see it. It's fascinating, I get that, but why do people think it's okay, I guess, to literally park in the road, with active traffic coming back and forth? It's just, number one, common sense would dictate, no, but so would the law, and it's dangerous. Nobody's even, paying attention when they're crossing the street. It's amazing how common sense goes out the window in those situations. So the lessons are, one, if you're the driver like me, you gotta be super careful. Don't expect people to pay attention. They will literally walk right in front of you, and people are going to park. They're right in front of you, you're moving, they will stop their car and just sit there like it's normal. So I gave a tap on the horn to the lady in front of me at one point. It's just lady, some of us are on our way somewhere. It's this is the public road. So I thought it'd be interesting to show that, but that's not what I was saying when I was recording and actually driving through it. It's not family friendly. I was not very happy. I love seeing bison and bear and all that just as much as everybody else, but I'm not gonna just stop, park my truck in the middle of the road and just get out and walk away, while people are waiting to get through. But we are now, I'm gonna guess, a mile or two up from Sprague Creek Campground. So this will be my 4th campground. The last one that I was supposed to film today, but I'm opting to do them all instead of what I was originally going to do. Lake McDonald Lodge. So I'm gonna shut up so I can start rolling for CampVue. Kind of flip-flopping back and forth here. All right, this was Sprague Creek Camp. This is the picnic area, but I just did Sprague Creek Campground, which is a small loop right off the lake. Actually, if I turned right there, that's how you get in there. It's a really tiny campground, only 24 sites, but I'd say it's a wonderful one also. It's very shaded in the woods like Avalanche was, except it's right on Lake McDonald also, in the picnic area. It was fantastic. There's little individual picnic sites. I think they're just first come, first serve, and you just pull up and you get a couple tables. They're separated. There's lake access through there. Really nice. So I enjoyed that one. I've enjoyed them all. And I don't know where I would put Sprague Creek. Maybe that would be, it's hard to rank them because they're all so different and they all have different qualities about them that I like. But I guess if you want to talk about a good location, you want to talk about lake access and all that, it gives Sprague Creek really high marks. So I might say, that might be my number 2 or number 3. I don't know. It's just hard because two, there's something about Two Medicine. I would say Two Medicine out of all of them is the most scenic by far that I've seen so far. I would say that if you're rating it based on scenery, around the campground, then Two Medicine crushes them all, I think. St. Mary's kind of far away from the mountains, so, compared to Two Medicine, so not quite as scenic, but it's still pretty. Way more scenic than where I'm from, I would say, but, and then these other two are very woodsy, deep woods, deep shade. So I'm curious to see what this next one, Apgar, is like. And this one, I'm not doing the drive-through just yet. I'm actually gonna drive straight to my campsite and get the tent set up and all that. And then we'll kind of stretch our legs, check it out together. And then I'll probably, attempt the drive-through, or I don't know, I'll think about it when I get over there. Let me see. If it's not crowded, I might want to just get that drive-through done now, actually. There it is, Apgar. I assume it's pronounced Apgar or Apgar. Sounds Norwegian or something. La 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 la. Let's see, where are you? B68 or just loop B. But I do think they're all on like separate loops, so it seems like a nice and tidy design, which I like for filming. Like, just as long as there's logic to it, then I know I'm not missing anything. So loop A will be to the left, and then loop B, C, and D, and E are this way. I think my loop is up here. So that I didn't know what it would look like, but we got a nice heavily wooded and shaded campground, so that's nice. And we're here. So we're looking for B68. That first site looks pretty spacious. The second side looks pretty spacious. They look pretty well spaced out so far for national. Oh, I'm right here actually. It's hard to see. They kind of covered the tags a little bit up, but not bad, not bad. I can work with this, I think. I can work with this, I think. The area where the tent will go is fairly level and enough room. And the restroom's right here, which is simultaneously nice and also invites a lot of traffic. So, but it's still far enough away where there's enough trees where I think I'm gonna be happy here. I think I am. Let's go check it out on foot. All right, there's no name on the thing, but it should be mine. Here it is, B68. Nice spot for a tent. It's very nice. And nicely wooded. I like it. Campfire ring, and then I'll put my tent right over here. And that's awesome. Lots of space. Wouldn't be really good for like a rig or anything. It's very unlevel over here, but for me it's perfect. All right, it's nice to be here. It's hot though. It's really hot and kind of humid actually too. Not used to humidity from where I'm from, if you know that. I definitely want to put shorts on in a minute, but I'm actually wondering if I should try to get this drive-through done now. I'm gonna do that actually before a lot of people start rolling in for the day. That way I can hopefully do it at the right pace, and if someone gets behind me, I can always like do a second pass later. So let me do an attempt here and see how it goes. All right, I actually finished the whole drive-through for Apgar Campground. It was a big one, but we actually did it. Like, I am ready to celebrate here. For real, like that was probably, like I'm at the northernmost point of my trip. We have, like, we're only 1 week in, so I still have a couple weeks left to go. But now, like, I feel like I'll be here for another day after this, but after that's all said and done, I'll be technically heading home in a way, which feels kind of nice, being out on the road this long. So that'll all make me feel positive, I guess. But, you know, I am one campground away from having the complete, you know, set that I can do here at Glacier done. Like one of the biggest, most important, probably the most important set in my opinion from the trip, followed by Yellowstone, followed by, you know, in Grand Teton. Those two probably are equivalent. I say this is the most important one because out of all of them, this one is the hardest for me to get to. So this is like a, I'm not going to say once in a lifetime type of opportunity, but, you know, even if I have, you know, if I have a job and I'm employed and I have vacation, you know, taking a week off, it's kind of a stretch to drive all the way up here, you know, in a week and do all the stuff and make it worthwhile and get it all done in a week. So, so this was really like an opportune time to just get this done and get to this very remote area, and I did it. Like, now I have one campground left, I know, but I wanted to see if there, like what this village is here, to see if there's like groceries or so Fish Creek Campground is where I need to go. Maybe I'll just go there now and get it done, but I think here is probably, oh yeah, the Cafe and Mercantile. That's probably where I'm gonna find food to replenish some things, some hopefully ice, groceries, beer and wine if anybody wants some. I don't, but if you do, it's there. So now I just gotta find this Fish Creek campground, and then we'll I can call it done. I'm just gonna go for it, I think. Fish Creek was like Apgar and Fish Creek were supposed to be tomorrow. It's really pretty back here. There's a lot to check out. But yeah, I'm like, woohoo. OMG, I did it actually. I just finished filming at Fish Creek Campground on the west side of the lake near Apgar, where I'm staying. The last of the Glacier campgrounds that are open. There's only one, like I said earlier, that is shut down for the year that I can't film, Many Glacier. But I actually just finished. Man, I know this isn't making for the greatest like road trip video today. We're gonna do some fun activities, I think, before we're done here. I know it's, I don't even know, maybe the video's not that long up to this point and I haven't fatigued anyone, but you know, it's kind of, I did want to kind of capture, I guess, a day like today. I'm gonna have some more like it on this trip, but you know, life on the road isn't all about having a good time all the time. It's like doing these drive-thrus, which I like seeing the campgrounds. I mean, I'm a camping aficionado, but I do get stressed doing them. So the fact that I just got this whole set done today, I feel good. All right, I got the home set up for tonight and tomorrow night. I don't have to break camp down in the morning, which is nice. Get a little bit of a break. But I found site 68 to be a perfect fit for my tent. Got room for other stuff, but it's absolutely perfect. All right, I decided to kind of start on my dinner. Probably multiple phases of what I'm gonna eat. I'm trying to use up things that I need to use. I have some avocados in my cooler. I don't know how it's gonna look when I cut it open. If it's bad, I'll try the next one. But I'm making toast by just putting it on that skillet, heating it up, and I'm gonna spread the avocado on it with salt and pepper and call it avocado toast. Turn that down a bit. These things burn really hot, these gas stoves sometimes. It's a Coleman. I've definitely got my money's worth out of this thing. This is my main go-to cooking utensil just because it's so darn easy to use. This is easy to clean up. I don't really have to do, I could just wipe out the skillet basically and let it cool off and put it back. I don't have to like wash it with soap every time, I don't think, with just the toast. And I don't know, I might just boil some water and make a dehydrated meal to follow it up for tonight's thing. I was gonna actually go to the store, the Apgar Village, but now I'm just like running out of steam. I'm like, I don't want to, it was pretty crowded over there, so, and I don't want to be tempted to buy something I don't need. I was thinking, oh, I'll get hot dogs or something tonight. Seems appropriate and well earned, but we got still a couple weeks left, so I'm gonna eat what I have, be responsible, follow the budget, and that's how we're doing it. These were supposed to be my breakfasts, but there it is. Yummy. Not bad. Not bad at all. All right, I've eaten my fill. I feel good. I just got ice replenished in the cooler. I went over here to the cafe and mercantile. Well, to the mercantile, not the cafe. The cafe is the bulk of what you see. The mercantile's on the corner and it's pretty small. It's mostly a gift shop with t-shirts and sweatshirts, but there's like, I'd say not even convenience store variety, just some drinks and some other things. This is a pretty nice area, this Apgar village. They even have a motel here. But I think we're gonna get our first view of Lake McDonald here. And at least wanted to take you to see something nice, not just campground drive-thrus all day. All right, this Lake McDonald. Hopefully we can get a good view of it here. How do I get down there is the question. Oh my goodness, look at that. That is beauty. Wow. I should just bathe in this. The showers were way too crowded, so I skipped it. All right, I found some peace and quiet over here in this little corner. Everybody's having their fun and swimming and frolicking. And this is an amazing scene, I'm not gonna lie. And then tomorrow we should be venturing off, if all goes according to plan, deep into that. You got a little taste today as I drove through to film campgrounds. Well, folks, you can see I'm back at the campsite, backing up clips. It never ends. And it's really nice lighting in here at this time of day. I'm thinking the sun's about setting, but it's very peaceful in here. All right, folks, so I'm drawing a line here. I'm done. I have to get up really early tomorrow so we can try to beat the timed entry stipulation and actually get deep in and try to enjoy our time for once and not work all day and toil on campground drive-thrus. Although I'm glad I got them all done. Anyway, so tune in next week, which should probably be the video I'm gonna record tomorrow. If all goes according to plan, and we'll get to explore Glacier a little bit more. Take it easy and see you then.